Hey ladies, it's Charlie O and Lola, and we're the Shady Ladies. We're a couple of love coaches that love to sit on the patio, drink champagne, and talk about sex and love and relationships with no shame. We're here to help you to keep it exciting.
All right. Good morning. We are back here on the patio for the Shady Ladies podcast. Ready?
Cheers.
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 Cheers, ladies. We have Barb here and Gut Girl. Charlie O, she is still out of town. So welcome, ladies. We're so glad you're here. We had kind of an impromptu topic, and I'm going to let Barb talk about it. There's a book she's reading, and I haven't seen it yet, but it looks amazing. And that is why we're here. That's why we're doing this, to support one another, to help each other grow, overcome obstacles. And yeah, so I'll let you just read the title.
So the title is A Tribe Called Bliss, and it is written by Lori Harder. And it says, break through superficial friendships, create real connections, and reach your highest potential. I will say that I just got it from the library yesterday. So I just started reading it, basically the intro. But here's what the back says. And this is what I read that made me say, I need to read this book.
Yeah.
It says, tribe moves you from transition to transcending. I wanted to know these women. Wasn't there more to them, to us, to this new moment we're sharing? I wanted to know what their soul was whispering to them late at night, what they've been through that has made them who they are and makes them think the way they think. I wanted to know what they unapologetically feel proud of, what they love about themselves, or what they want to contribute to the world. I wanted to know if we shared the same fears, the same pasts, or even passions. I wanted to know if we could support each other's dreams.
Wow. I have chills. I have
That's
chills
amazing.
everywhere.
I know it. When I saw it on the bookshelf, I saw Tribe, and you know how we are with Tribe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I saw Tribe on there, so I pulled it out and I read that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is totally speaking to me. Like, totally speaking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That would be a great gift for girlfriends. You know what I mean? Like if you want to give
I
like
love
your
that.
friends.
Good idea.
Wait a minute. I want to show you this. It's funny that you said that, because right in the beginning, it comes with an invitation. It's an invitation. It says, with this book, I would like to extend a sacred invitation to join a tribe called Bliss. And it says, dear, and it's got a line, and you fill it
And
in.
you put your name or to the person,
yes,
their name.
And you, it's got an invitation, and that's what it is. It says, this is how this book works. And I'm working my way through it. And I feel like this is a little premature going into this, but I think that this is what it's going. I think it's going to be a great read. And I think,
oh my gosh,
just seeing that invitation, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what we need.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I've only made it through the foreword and another kind of little introduction from her. But it says how to begin inviting your tribe. So I think it's going to go through how to be super selective in who you want in your tribe. We all have friends, and that's great, but your tribe is, you do want to be, because you have to make sure that person that you invite into your tribe is always going to have your back.
Right.
And we've all been in relationships before, in friendships, where we thought somebody would always have our back, but then they didn't have our back. And it's like, wait, what has happened here?
Yeah.
So I think I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to share it with you guys. But I also say, and since you're getting ready to start your 75 hard, put it on your reading list.
I will.
Get it at the library.
Yeah.
And,
I'm you know me, I'm a person that likes to buy books. I might buy that book because that'd be something I want to read
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So
this
I
would
love
be
what
a
you
book
said.
you would want to buy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
going to get the audio.
the, when you were talking about the, your tribe and stuff, and I don't, maybe you guys think, maybe don't, maybe do, but I don't feel, and I'm not, anybody listening right now, I'm not saying that people that are younger don't have a tribe, but I can tell you that I did not know what that meant younger with my friendships. You know, you always think your friend from high school is going to be your best friend forever. And
You do.
those relationships are sad when they go, you know, like a girl I was friends with, like I could call her right now and we would pick right back up, but I was sick of pouring into her and her never pouring into me at all. It was like, I always had to reach out. But I look at her life now and she doesn't have any friends. She only hangs out with her family. She can't commit to that. She can't commit to that.
I will tell you here in this book, it's crazy that you even say that, because in this book, your tribe has to commit to I think it's like a bi-weekly connection so that you can make these connections.
Yeah, because
it's a commitment.
You've got to nurture it.
Yes, it is nurturing it. And I, you know, like I said, I've just started. I haven't even started chapter 1 yet.
Yeah.
It's only the foreword.
It seems pretty
can't wait.
powerful just getting through the first very part of it.
And talking about it with you guys, it makes you realize that these connections are important.
They're vital. They are vital to our well-being as women.
I'm going to tell you guys a quote Oprah Winfrey said years ago, and it's always been in the back of my mind, and it's a good segue to talk about sex. So the reason I say this is we talk about tribes, you know, and our girlfriends, we are so well at that relationship with our girlfriends, and sometimes it's not with their spouse, you know, like we don't pour as much in there. And Oprah said, the one thing she said, the only thing that differentiates your relationship with your friends and your husband is the sex. Really, I mean, if you really think about it, you know, like, you know, your best friend, your good friends, it can be, it can be. The only thing that's different is that. So that's why she says, that's why that should be so important, because that is telling them that you are engaging. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Like, you know, like that's.
It is. However, I think the reason why sometimes we don't engage with our partner as much if he's male is because they don't relate the same way.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, they don't relate the same way. So it's really hard to.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying though. I mean, if you think about it, I was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess there's other things, of course, too. But, you know, like for the most part, that does make a big difference, you know, but, you know, your tribe is different. Like there's things I tell my girlfriends that I would never tell my husband.
Yeah. Right. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
I just love that it's going to teach you how to build your tribe and how to cultivate that relationship.
I like
so that we can talk about all of these things. And I feel like for us to be able to have that release is it's going to be good for our heart and soul, you know, like it's going to be good for us to be able to do that. It's only going to make us stronger women.
I agree.
To share that.
Well, you have to know somebody's got your back, because, you know, if you don't have anybody that's got your back in the world, that you know, then it's I look at like my mom, and she doesn't have any friends. Like she doesn't have girlfriends. Like it's me and my stepdad, you know, that she talks to, and I'm like, who does she, you know? And she talks to me about some pretty personal stuff, but I'm like, that should be not for your mom or daughter or whatever, you know, that should be friends. That's my personal opinion. Like, you know,
well, true. Yeah. Everyone, I have been pretty family oriented a lot of my adult life, and I call them my circle of friends. So like a small circle of your close friends. And then for me, in my mind, then the next circle is a little bit bigger. So they're ones that you do other things with, and you share a little bit, but you don't share the inner, like, you know, with the inner friends. And then there's a circle that is beyond that. And then those are just sort of, you know, hi, how are you? Chit chat. And then it just kind of goes beyond. And then you've got, you know, your work friends who you would never share, you know, that kind of stuff, you know? So I see like these, you know, circles getting bigger and bigger. And, you know, yeah, I've
But that center circle is
that
the
center
most
circle.
sacred.
Oh, it's
Like,
very sacred.
You
And
know,
I've only had a couple in there that I would even allow in there,
Mhm.
and
I think
it's someone you've got
to
to
help us determine which ones you want to
Yeah.
allow in there to this
Yeah.
particular tribe.
yeah.
I mean,
So
we can all think of ones that were like, that girl is in my tribe.
yeah,
She
exactly.
will always be in my tribe. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Or there's
like,
ones where you're like, they'll never be in my tribe. They're just like,
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
Yeah.
good friend, like you said, not this circle, maybe this circle, you know, like you get this one and then you got, and it's like, yeah. And I love that circle thing, because I was kind of thinking the same thing. You got here, and then you got, out here are the people that are like, okay, hi, I'm nice to them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You'll always, you're fine. They're neighbors, they're coworkers or something, but you're just, you're not going to go deep.
About growing that inner circle
I love
tribe and making sure that the people in it and are the ones that you really, really want in it.
Yeah, for sure. So now you two ladies, you guys have been friends for
You know what? It just came up on my Facebook, which is weird that we have been friends. My memory sucks. It was either 4 or 5 years that we've been, I think 5 years that we've been Facebook friends. And it was on my Facebook memories, it came back you and Mark on the same day, but we knew of each other because through a mutual friend from my old neighbor. We had knew each other and had met prior to that. But I think it mostly started out with you and Mark visiting Don and I on our dock. You guys would anytime you would come over that way, you would pull in and you'd come off and you a lot of times you had Scott too, because they played, Don and Scott and Mark I guess sometimes played golf together. Yeah. So that's kind of how our friendship grew. And then so it's only been 5 years.
Yeah.
But
it seems way longer than that.
It does seem like we've been friends forever. And that's probably because we just met. I mean, we talk and have coffee. We go meet for coffee, and we always laugh. Like, there's no way anybody could figure out what the hell we're talking about, because we just we squirrel like 5 word conversations in an hour,
Yeah.
And my husband, I mean, bless his heart, I try to talk to him like that, like that's how I normally talk. And he's like, what are you talking about now? Don't switch subjects.
Like,
They can't. What are you talking about? Like,
I know. Yeah, my husband thinks I'm a nut too.
Yeah.
But I would definitely.
It's good to know we're all together, though.
Yeah.
This last year, I think our friendship has gone to a different level. I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I moved down and you were there already, and so we had been doing stuff together, vacationing, basically.
Yeah. Nice.
So we would go buggy riding, and so that's what kind of one of the connections. And the guys have always played golf together, but so we did that. And then when we moved down full time, not only was it did I like hanging out with Ange, which I really love because we had the best time, but I was also dealing with some other friendships that I thought was part of a different tribe, and learned that wasn't. So
that's
where I was her a lot.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of going with this, because I know you guys have known each other a while, and we haven't known each other very long at all. No, but I just feel like you're kindred spirits, both of you.
Yes,
ladies. You're wonderful and amazing and inspiring, both of you. And so that's kind of where I was going with what made you feel like I need to seek out, I've got friends, that's not the question, but how do I really find good friends? Because maybe that's why some people, like maybe your mom, Gut Girl, why she doesn't reach out. Maybe she's had some disingenuous friends, and then you're like, well, I don't know how to pick them. So, I was just curious, what
I think some people are just more social too. Like my mom's just not a very social person. I mean, she's very lovely and wonderful and fun, but she's just we are so opposites. Like, I'm such an extra, like, I'm like I told Mark, we went out Friday night, and we went out to eat, and then we went to a bar and just talked to people at the bar. That is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
just social and just talk to people. And it was like, it fed my soul. And I told Mark, I said, that's why I keep talking about getting a job outside of the house besides my online coaching, because, you know, I don't want social media. That doesn't feed my soul.
Oh,
I can see people's stuff, but I need that human interaction with people, like, golfing. And that's what, you know what? And speaking of being like in the RV park and stuff, it's amazing how those people are a lot alike, like the place we just got, at Sundance. The guy said, I said, well, what are the neighbors like? And he goes, I don't think I've met an asshole here. It's just like, those kind of people just tend to,
that's important.
Like just tend to, and you have
you are so going to be in your element. You're so going to be in your element.
I'm so excited about that. But anyway, I just think that, like Barb and I have a lot of the same mutual friends, and we're good friends with them, but it's just like that there's a group of us and we all are in a chat group, but it's like Barb and I have kind of not peeled away because we love all of them and they're wonderful. But they, we just happened to land because she retired, and we had more time to spend together and our schedules worked. And so it worked out that way too. But it's just, I don't know. I think people fall in your life at certain times for certain reasons,
I agree. 100%. So, I think you've got to trust that, that
absolutely
things are the way they are. And so like with Barb, what made you say, I really need to read this book? You mentioned something about, maybe some friendships that you thought you could rely on and then they weren't there for you.
I have a group that is my group is called My Tribe, like our other tribe that I thought was my tribe. And I had a really good closeness to them, and I do because there's 8 of us or 9 of us in this group,
number.
And we're a neighbor tribe. And neighbor tribes, they're good a lot of times, but I guess you don't expect sometimes for things to happen the way they do, but that happens sometimes. It's with divorce, and then the neighbor tribe changes or somebody moves away. So those are some of the things, but in this particular case, I've been baffled with why the tribe has changed in some ways, but
it's been toxic for a long time, Barb. I mean, these people are, I shouldn't say these people because I don't know them as well as you do, but from the outsider looking in and not being friends with them, it was easier for me to see, like I could see, like, you know what I mean? And I can still see it on social media even. I'm like, they are just like this, like, and when Barb was going through a hard time, I was like, I got lucky because she landed on me.
Yeah.
Barb landed on me.
Or no, it wasn't. I wouldn't say
competitive or
I don't know. When I moved, I had one of my friends in the neighborhood was full-time, and 2 of them were full-time. And not everybody there is full-time. It's very seasonal.
Right.
So I had a certain expectation of how our friendship would go now that I'm retired, she's full-time, we do things, my other friend is retired. We've been friends for 20 years. And it just didn't turn out that way. It was, I don't even know how to say it without saying that I just felt like I was intentionally cut out of that group. Where I expected to come in and be a part. We've been friends for.
Now you're retired, you're ready to.
And it just didn't happen. And I would see it right in front of my eyes when they would drive by my house heading out, and then I'd see a Facebook post where they're having happy hour together, and I'm like,
gosh.
Like, I'm here now. I'm gonna go to happy hour, and I wasn't getting invited.
It's a good thing it happened because they're just not the right people for you. You know what I mean? And we talked a lot about that. It's just like they were not bringing any positiveness to a relationship. It was negative, negative, negative.
But it was also, it was sad for me to think about losing.
It is sad. It hurts.
Losing this friendship.
Yeah.
But you're right, because I have been struggling, not just this last year with what happened, but the year and a half before that, I was struggling with the difference in personalities. And I'll be honest, it started with the election, like just seeing the stuff that you know, her opinion on stuff, and I'm like, I don't really care to know about that, but whenever we would get together, our conversations or their conversations would turn ugly because of this election stuff. And I found myself just having to walk away because I didn't want to get my head into ugly election stuff. It's just, I don't give two shits about that. Don't get me wrong. I care about our country. I care about all that stuff, but I don't want to hear other people's opinion about it. Necessarily.
Like when I bartended, politics and religion were not allowed at the bar. Like, I don't want to hear it. Don't talk about it. Don't start it. It'll start a fight. Like, that doesn't matter. No. If you're coming to have a cocktail, you don't want to hear that shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think
we want to get away from that usually.
I think some of my opinion of what I was feeling, not only because of the election, but some of my opinion about what I felt was going on was just because I started getting closer with you and you were always putting this positive stuff out, and I'm like, I want to be a positive person,
right?
You know, I can look back at some of my posts, and when they pop up, mostly it was you know, not mean, but not necessarily uplifting.
What you would call positive.
Uplifting and positive. And I started to see that with you, and I started to take some of that stuff to heart, and I thought, I just want to be a better person. I want to, you know, and those kind of things that like politics and religion doesn't necessarily, if you have a difference of opinion, doesn't necessarily equate to that. So
right,
you know,
that's a whole
and I'll tell you
topic.
this, Barb, you know, Barb, when you were talking, and it's funny because you talk about memory, like, you know, we get older, our memory, it's like, you know, the kids suck, just life sucks the memory out of you. Anyway, I remember the day you came to my house and we had coffee or something, and I remember the day you were talking about this person and how negative she was, and this was a couple of years ago, when I just remember, but so that it'd been going on for a long, way before, you know, like even, you know, so it was like that realizing that wasn't going to work for you, you know, like so
I think it was just try to hold on to something,
right?
You know,
and like, we do. I mean, we make bonds with people, but when we shift in our lives, as we do, you know, we do make shifts, not just out of our 20s, you know, like we continue to grow and evolve, and hopefully, and when
keep talking. I think the video might be okay, or the audio might be okay.
Perfect.
No, I turned my video off just so it is better coverage, because it was starting to cut out a little bit since we're on.
Okay. So I think I'll do that too. So we'll just go straight to
it. Sometimes
audio.
that helps a little bit.
But I think that as we evolve, and you know, I've seen a few quotes where, you know, by the choices that you make, you're going to lose some friends. But the beauty of it is you're going to make new ones in that positive vibe, you know, that you want to be in. And, you know, we don't need anything else taking us down. You should, I understand, you try to hold that friendship together, and, you know, I've done the same. For sure. And, you know, at some point you have to go, I love you and thank you for everything that you have brought to my life. And, you know, you can name several things that have enriched your life, but it's time to, you know, for it to shift to something different, you know.
Boy, I hope that it can end that way.
Well, you know, what word always comes what comes to mind for me is seasons. You always talk about seasons, right? And everybody's, and if you think of, like, you know, people are in your life for a reason. Everybody teaches you, like, even the situation with you, Barb, those people taught you a lesson. Right? It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, but they taught you a lesson about who you want in your tribe. So I think a lot of times, like this long-term friend I was really kind of bitter and pissed, because I'm like, are you kidding me? We had like the most amazing friendship. Like we've talked about being old together and like being together forever. And but I just got sick of being the one that was always initiating any kind of, reaching out. She's told me I'm a horrible friend. And I had to really forgive her for that. Like it weighed heavy. Like I thought about her every day for years. And sometimes I would reach out and rekindle it because I missed her so much. But eventually I had to just say, you know what? I'm saving my energy for people that are going to give back just as much as I give. And I now will message
people
her.
who choose you.
I'll message her, on Facebook and I'll say hi, or, she's got kids that are my girls' age, like I'll comment on the grandkids and I'm nice, but I had to forgive her, kind of just go, okay, it's okay for that to be, because it does hurt.
I'm still
does.
having a hard time to get my head there, but I need to get there.
Yeah, you will.
I just know that there's going to be some additional shifts in the next 6 months.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it'll be fine. It'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I know.
Absolutely. And especially just knowing the way your life is shifting right now.
Yes.
And the things that you guys are doing, it's just going to naturally take its course.
Yeah.
And, the beauty of it is you don't have to do anything about it. You just let it, it do what it needs to do. And, work on mending your heart because, lost friendships or whatever we think they should be for us, it's hard. It's hard to let those go. But if you really want to stay positive, continue to grow in your life, which is to me vital for living and vitality. But if you want to continue that, we have to get okay about saying goodbye, to certain people. And, it's, and I even had a pretty good conversation with a gal yesterday about sometimes you're saying goodbye in a way to family because you're not vibing at the same frequency because, either they're more drama, you don't want to be a part of it. You can love them from a distance, that kind of thing. And so, sometimes this is necessary for family. And I've actually had to do that with family too, where, love you, but you stay over there and do your thing and your drama and your whatever, and I'm just gonna love you from over here. And
that's my daughter. That's how my daughter and I are. The one that lives in Kentucky. I hung up on her the other day because I'm like, you're not going to talk to me like this, and I wouldn't put up this. My friends wouldn't talk to me like that, so you don't need to talk to me like that. So I'm not going to let you go. Bye. It's hard, especially when it's your daughter.
It's hard. It's really
She's
hard.
Full of drama though. So
oh no.
It's
sometimes it's easier just to, well, I mean, when it's your daughter, it's different because you can't distance yourself from the drama necessarily, but I feel like she doesn't
live near me, which is good. I mean, that's healthy. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So Barb, we were talking about neighbors, your neighbor friends. We've had friends that are like, oh, we want to live down, like we want to be in your cove. And I'm like, I really don't want to live next door to my friends. That's real honest. I don't.
Yeah.
Because then I would feel like obligated to always be with them all the time.
Right.
I know, but you know what? After this, we've been there 9 years. So let's just say 8 years. 8 years, it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
But 8 years, it was great. Like
we weren't there all the time. We were only there on the weekends.
We were only there on the weekends.
So you got a break during the week. You didn't have them around 24/7. I mean, I think I told Barb, when you guys moved, I was like, God, I wouldn't want all those people around like that I feel like I should have some kind of relationship with all the time. You know what I mean? Like I just need to have my own time. And
but we didn't have that because nobody lived there full time.
Right.
And Donna and I continued to do our thing during the week for the most part and kind of wait for the weekend to come around when everybody was down. So I don't know. It's all good. It's I've somewhat made peace with it. I think I'll have more peace to make when when I leave there. And I
you're
think
making a big transition, and I mean just the excitement of all the new changes and retiring and
certain friendships I'll obviously take with me. I don't know if you checked your Facebook today, but did you see the memories that popped up today?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
It
I
was
haven't.
us. It was from a year ago when we were in Aruba together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was an awesome. That
Yeah,
was an awesome trip.
That was an awesome trip. So it spurred me to reach out to Jana, and that's a relationship that I know is gonna be with me because she's just
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's that kind of person.
Yeah.
And
Hey guys, I'm gonna mute my microphone real quick. I'm gonna mute because I got background noise right now.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna mute for a
Go
few
ahead.
minutes while you guys.
Go ahead.
Okay. So
Aruba and your friend.
Oh yeah. So I think that will be a friendship that will be a lasting friendship that I'll bring with me. But I still know that moving across the country is going to change those friendships. But
for sure,
I got to tell you, having you move across the country with me for a good portion of each year is so
I'm so sad you're moving. I am so sad, but you know what, that's what's going to make this is so much more awesome is like, I know it's just going to be awesome. And and I think I told you I didn't want to follow on your coattails, but we did. It's like, hey,
I know, I'm so excited.
We didn't look at any other cities because I was like, I'm pretty sure I want to be with my friends. And I mean, friendships with you guys and all the people we've met there, just like, I feel like we have another home now.
Yeah. I know. It's fantastic. I love it. And you know what, honestly, just a personal tidbit. I have been intending this for about 3 years. I have been doing affirmations. I've been writing, journaling about this, about, patio time with awesome people. And just, I couldn't even visualize seeing it, but just in my heart, what my heart wanted. And it's just showing up.
Yeah.
It's just showing up now. And it's so, I'm flabbergasted, honestly. Like, I have been wanting this and writing about this and thinking about this and meditating on this for solid 2 years, maybe even a little longer, as I started thinking about what I really wanted. And I didn't know I would land here. I didn't know that this would happen, and I couldn't anticipate it, but it has just been so amazing. So it's
I love that you said that, because I think so many people they say they have these dreams and they don't go after them because they feel like they're not possible. But I've done a lot of the same thing you have with my business that I have now, and I didn't know how I was going to get there, and I was real frustrated with the process. I felt very unsuccessful for many years. I'm like, why is this not working? But when I dove into myself and why it was happening, it all was happening for a reason, because every single thing I did has led me to here. And I can say everything I've done in the past has given me tools to be a better person right now. Like
exactly,
as a coach, like all the things. And I even have on my desk a list of every job I've had, which I've had a ton, but I can say every single one of them contributed to my success that I'm having now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so everything
even the struggles,
done,
right? Even the struggles.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Those teach you a lot more than the successful things a lot of times.
Exactly.
Sometimes they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I said we learn from our losses, not our wins. So
yeah, I think we learned from both.
Well, I agree.
Maybe some of the more important lessons come from the losses.
Well,
I'm not doing that again.
One kind of I hate to use the word cheesy, but silly thing that we used when I was in sales, and I told part of my team, I always tell them that every no gets you closer to a yes. And that's kind of the same line of thinking, like every unsuccessful thing you've done gets you closer to the successful thing.
I would agree. Yeah, for sure.
Every little thing.
See, and it's funny because even going into this talk right now, we started with a purpose, or we had a stated purpose, but we have been talking now for as long as we've been talking, and we haven't even touched that, which is completely fine, because I think that these are the kind of conversations we need to have.
Yes.
And when the other conversations like lube come into it, that's cool too. But these kind of conversations, I think these are the ones that bring women closer
Mm-hmm.
and bring your tribe closer.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is raw,
I was just going to say
true
raw.
stuff,
Yep.
true stuff
Yep.
where
Yep.
we're just putting it out there and talking about whatever.
Yep.
And all it took was
This book.
one title of a book that I happened to browse at the library
Mhm.
yesterday and thought, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this speaks to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then talking to two like-minded women
Mm-hmm.
who I mean, as soon as I saw this, I knew that this was a great book.
Yeah.
But this morning when it was sitting on my counter, I was like, I'm taking this over.
Yeah.
And we need to
Perfect.
discuss this.
I think so. It's huge.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, despite the fact that so far our conversation hasn't gone the way it was intended, I feel fulfilled
Yep.
in the conversation that we've had
Yep.
already.
Well, yeah, and another deep, raw, and personal thing that I have struggled with, that that's why I went over and I read the title of your book, and I'm like, oh, this is such a big thing because I really, really struggled. Even like one of my earliest memories in middle school, and we take these memories with us, especially ones that are so profound, like something major happened, your brain technically or scientifically makes a snapshot inside your brain, and you carry that with you forever, especially when major things happen. Well, anyway, so I was just doing my thing. We were in the girls' locker room after doing sports. I was in just pretty much every sport you could be in at that time in middle school. And I think it was basketball at that time, because I remember I was captain of the basketball team, which I didn't even know why they made me captain. I think just because I was the tallest. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm like, I don't know what the captain does, but anyway, they made me that. And then so I'm just doing my thing. We're all laughing, talking, getting ready for class, right? Like getting ready for the day, because that was early in the morning. And then I got word that these girls want to beat me up after school. And
oh my.
it hit me so strong. And it was like a pack of girls that just with their background, their ethnic background. And I was just like, oh, they're going to be tough and they're going to beat the shit out of me. I'm like so scared. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to stay out in front of the building, which wasn't hard to do because I lived towards the front of the school anyway. That direction would go home. But I'm like, oh, I can never go to the side of the building or the back of the building, which I never did anyway. But anyway, my instincts were like survival instantly. Like, I don't want the shit beat out of me, and I didn't even know this is the thing. And as I've gotten older, now I've dealt with this issue, but I can see where it started. But at that age, I'm like, I don't even know what I did to deserve that, like now my safety was threatened. And, but anyway, so, as, our just what we do over the years, we relate the current situation back to the old situation. And so, throughout my adult life, I've had some friends not be such good friends, kind of like your situation, Barb. And
I was totally, when you were saying that, I'm
yes,
like, I kind of feel like I've been set up to be beat up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not physically,
Right.
but mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be any one of those things. And it played a mental game on me for a lot of my life. And actually, when I first got started with Shady Ladies, I had to really address these things, really, really dig deep, go really deep, and really face these challenges about, what it feels like to face
Be a
these
woman.
yeah, and face these issues, and what did I do? I didn't deserve that kind of thing. And then later having friends not be true friends like you thought.
Yeah.
And no one had your back. And so In fact, I even wrote as a topic for a future podcast, who do you go to when shit hits the fan?
That's a good
And
one.
it's, to me, it is about what we're talking about right now,
Totally.
because, who is your tribe? Where do you turn? Who do you go to? Because, you can go to your husband, your partner, the love of your life or whatever, but they help in some ways, but they can't help the way
No,
women help
they don't
women.
get the
They
emotional
can't.
portion of it.
Yeah, they just don't. That's just not where they're coming at, in their look on life. They just want to go beat up the whatever and solve the problem.
Are you still with us?
But
Yeah, I'm still here. I just turned it on.
okay, perfect. Nope,
okay.
that's
Because-
not a problem.
Yep. I just didn't want any background noise and stuff like that. Yeah, I
Okay.
totally, no, I was going to say something and I just had a total brain fart, I like to call it. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Dang it.
Well, I gotta tell you
like,
guys, listen,
I mean,
go ahead, Ann. You go, honey.
no, just the whole, and I know it's said over and over again, but the whole thing of, and this is what I tell my daughter, I'm like, you can't control what other people do. You only can control your reaction to it. So staying in your lane and being true to yourself and just reacting to it, that's what you have control over. You can't control what other, just that whole thing.
Absolutely.
Just, it's just kind of a lesson
Yeah.
that something I keep in my head quite a bit. Cause it's like,
Well, and
anyway, go ahead, Barb.
going on that point is sometimes you need somebody that you trust to throw your shit at, so you do, so they can help you in how you react to something, because a lot of times your first reaction is not the best reaction.
No, it isn't usually.
Yeah, and usually it's not. So to find a soul sister that you can, put your heart on the line and get an objective view, because your view is your view. And that's why you saying that earlier, Ange, about a couple of years ago when I said something and now you can see it kind of evolving into what it has evolved. It makes sense. It just, it makes sense. And when we do have coffee talk and I tell you this, or you tell me something and I can tell you from my view and you can tell me from your view, it really hits home and it makes you rethink things. And I think that's important. And that's why I think building a specific tribe in this way, that helps you break through superficial relationships, which we all have, and we love these people too.
They're okay. Yeah.
Create real connections and reach our highest potential. I'm like, this is what we're doing. This is what we need to do.
Yeah. And support one another.
Yeah.
And it's cheer each other on. And
we were just yesterday when we were going with our friends to look at this trailer they were going to buy, the lady that opened it up for them, and just based on her and like the condition of this trailer, this is kind of a weird story, but anyway, we were talking and I was like, yeah, I don't, like they were, I don't know what the deal was, but it was just like, I could just tell those were the type of people, my friend that I was with, I said, those people like are not like probably people you want to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like they're not part of your tribe. And it didn't say that, but I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I noticed she knows this person and I know what that whole group of people is like, kind of talking about what you, Barb, like that whole group of people are very unhealthy. And I'm not talking about have to be healthy, but you know what I mean? Like I could tell they'd be toxic people. Yeah. And they're not going to add any value to your life. And there's people out there that you're friends with that don't necessarily add a lot of value to your life. But I think personally, for me, in my business now, where I finally am getting to where I've always wanted to be, like you talked about, like you had these visions of this thing. And if I didn't have my tribe around me, I wouldn't be here, because I needed cheerleaders along the way, because it wasn't easy.
We do.
All the time.
We do.
You need those cheerleaders there on the sidelines. And your husband can be supportive. My husband is the most supportive man ever. He never tells me no. He's like, you want to do it, just do it. But,
Mhm.
and he gives me the support that way, but it's different with your girlfriends, it's just different. It's a different type of support.
Well, yeah, because what I've run into is the jealousy thing. And like, I don't even, what would even be the point of being jealous? I don't know. We're not the same people. We're not the same size. We're not the same hair color. We're not the same face. We're not the same, we don't have the same lives and the same background. We don't have the same income. Like, there is nothing to compare to.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. And so so the people who make it into my inner circle are the people who don't need to compare.
Yeah.
They
And
don't
care about that.
don't
shit.
even
Right.
care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'm happy being me.
Mhm.
I'm happy doing us, my husband and I'm happy doing us. And but I'm actually happy for your success and your success and your success.
Right.
I am so happy
Yes.
for you. Please go and achieve.
Yes.
And you know what? Because when you do, you liberate others to do the same.
You do.
And that is so huge to
Absolutely.
me. And when I meet women who are like that, then they get in the inner circle.
Yes.
Because they earn
Yes.
a chair in that circle.
Yep.
For sure.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. And ladies, I'm going to have to jump off here.
Absolutely.
I've got to get going for the day and get some stuff done.
No
Um,
problem.
And
So-
get the book. Get the book.
Yep. I'm getting the
I
audio.
know you
I will.
probably already ordered it while we're talking.
No, I haven't yet, but I'm going to.
Let's
I'm getting the
I
audio.
say get it. I need to get it for you because you need to be invited. But it goes without saying that you are at the top of my invitation list.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
but I think it would be neat if we could all get it.
Yeah,
and
let's read it. And
kind
then
of, not like a
reconvene.
book club, like
Yeah.
a book club.
No, I
kind of.
love it.
Yeah.
I've already started one.
Yes.
I will invite you to join it.
All right, let's do it.
Both
Let's
of you.
do
That would be awesome.
I can only imagine what your book club includes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, the first one is
Kama Sutra.
50 Shades of Grey was the first book.
Well, you know what? I named my boat. Our new boat we got 2 years ago. It's 50 Waves of Gray.
It
Oh, I
totally
love it.
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
fantastic.
They got their boats like gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gray. So yeah, it's 50 Waves of Gray.
Yeah, it was
I
a good name.
love that.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
All right, so let's do
Well,
that.
on that note,
Yeah.
yep, we're going to get the book, read it, and we'll come back to this.
All right.
Sounds
Lovely.
good.
Love you,
All right.
girl.
All right. Love you guys. We'll see you
Thanks.
later.
Love you too. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. And make sure you hit stop on the record button before you leave.
Hey, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? I'm rooting for the commercials.
I'm rooting for the truckers. Sorry.
Oh!
Oh,
All right, guys.
Have a great day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.